Okay, let's talk about the weather now as we enter the weekend. Didn't think that was going to happen, but hey, here we are.
We made it.
You didn't think we'd make it to the weekend? That's the only thing that gets me through the week.
I know.
Come on, right? Come on. No. We're getting there. You know, millions of Americans are bracing for winter weather.
Can we get some of that?
I know.
Spread it
really
around.
hard. We're prepped for average temperatures and a dry setup, and unfortunately, I know it's so different than what everybody else is seeing. Let's go ahead. We did have a system move through today, and we're going to take a look at this time-lapse video where you notice snow showers near Bryce Canyon. So yes, part of the Beehive State saw wet weather, and maybe you saw some flurries along the Wasatch Front, maybe on the benches this evening, and you can see the snow that kind of moved through Bryce Canyon. We're quieting down the radar, picking up on some moisture, but low-level moisture. Not totally clear. You can see on the eastern side of the state, we still have active skies, and then peppered through southern Utah, quieter in the north, but we know that we're still seeing it snow. This is a live view from Monticello, where we have fresh snow on the ground. And it continues to come down tonight on Main Street. We just saw a plow on this camera moving through the area. And the LaSalle's and Abajos are going to be the big winner from, I was going to say maybe another plow, but nope, just a truck coming on through. We've got winter weather advisory in effect right now for the LaSalle's and Abajos, expecting 6 to 12 inches of snow by late tomorrow night. So they're going to be the portion of the state and the mountains that receive the most snow from this passing cold front. We'd like a little more, but it doesn't look likely. A few flurries in the forecast, though, for the Wasatch back as we make it through your weekend. Southern Utah saw the cloud cover and some wet weather. Thank you, Susan, for sharing this one from Snow Canyon. Brad got this one from Nephi with the clouds that were out there. Bit of an unsettled day. Our satellite radar shows the moisture on the move with that low. That first front came through, and the second one on the move. We're going to get northerly winds behind this next cold front that impacts us through tomorrow morning. That should ventilate some of our valleys. There's still a chance that we see that elevated particulate matter in counties along the Wasatch Front and in northwestern Utah. We're hoping this wind shift and the colder air that moves in cleans up some of our valleys, even if it's just for a day or so. Would be nice to breathe a little easier. Clear and clean conditions in southern Utah and the eastern side of the state when it comes to air. Okay, drought monitor. I told you that snowpack's only about 62% of average for the state. The new drought percents came out yesterday. I wanted to show them to you because we've been talking about snowpack and losing snowpack, but our drought conditions also saw gain. Moderate drought went up about 1%. Here we are in January, and we don't want to see these numbers increasing in our wet months when we're supposed to be dealing with active skies. 30s for those highs, 39 in Salt Lake, which is average. So what you felt outside today, that's how we should be feeling. That's winter, friends. Doesn't look like it, but it felt like it today. 30s and 40s on the eastern side of the state, 40s for the I-15 corridor, and 51 in St. George. That's slightly below average. Our mostly cloudy skies become partly cloudy as we head into the overnight with the mid-20s expected along the Wasatch Front. Clouds on the move with wet weather from our Black Desert Skycam in southern Utah. Dynamic view there. You know, once the cold front passes southern Utah, enhanced canyon winds are expected. So gap winds in Washington County. I want you to watch these numbers here because they really start to crank by tomorrow afternoon, and they remain elevated. If you know, you know. Those gap winds can be definitely noticeable. We stay breezy with a northerly to northwesterly flow as we head into Sunday in the southern half of the state. Futurecast shows some moisture on the move. You notice a few showers there in central Utah. That's the cold front passing through as we get towards 3 a.m. We see some light showers there, and then the moisture starts to clear. We also have a chance of an isolated shower for the Uintas and the northern mountains on Sunday as a little ripple comes through. That northerly flow definitely could provide some unsettled conditions, but then we dry out overall with high pressure building back, and inversion could possibly strengthen at that point. Going to be a colder Saturday. Bundle up if you're headed out. We're looking at 30s, mid-30s in Salt Lake, freezing in Logan, 30s and 40s on the eastern side of the state, and 52 in St. George, where you're going to notice the next 7 days in the 50s. And you see that slight chance in the morning in St. George, but then a drier setup overall. Are you heading up to Sundance? You're going to want to bundle up. Daytime highs are going to stay below freezing for opening weekend. And then as we check the Wasatch Front, it's cold. We've got 30s, a slight chance of some flurries for tomorrow. And then again on Thursday, we could maybe see a shower, but high pressure brings us back to the 40s with the possibility of inversion conditions.
Oh, come on. That pesky high pressure. I'll tell you what.
It's kind of just not fun.
I know.
Go away.
We don't